Welcome to Module 4. Dissolve the internal war. You are good and evil. I'm so excited about this module. I think I've been saying that about every module, and I am. Particularly for this one because two things. One, I'm introducing a woman to you, or maybe not. Maybe you've already heard of her. I'm introducing a woman to you who I think is just masterful. And yeah, so I'll talk about that in a moment. Masterful when it comes to dream analysis and the invisible world inside of every human being, i.e., your shadow, your dream life, your unconscious mind. And then two, because my intention is that what I will share with you, which by the way is going to be placed with this module as a link for you to click, could potentially send you off on a trajectory that is deep for you, that you get a chance to create your own meaning, you get to chart your own path with a deeper knowledge, a much deeper knowledge that will support you as a human being, first of all, a divine being, then a woman, then a service provider, right? This is in any way you choose to be of service, whether it's simply your quality of humanhood. When you're a quality human, you're of service to humanity. And then also if you choose to start or grow a transformational business as a healer, a coach, a mentor, a shaman, a astrologist, a life coach, any kind of deep work, root work, shadow work, healing work, all the works, the great work. Okay. Uh, I'm just, I have a personal affinity for, well, all this, frankly, but who I'm getting ready to share with you and to support you in this way, because there's many ways that I can support you, but in this way with dissolving the internal war, that you are good and evil. And so is every other human being. You are good and evil. Now, before I share the woman who I'm getting ready to share with you, and then the link is already with this video, maybe you've already seen it, with the other resource for you, I'd like to talk about evil. What is evil and what is good? Okay. To tell you my stand on it, so when I talk, you understand the context within which I'm talking. So first of all, evil, most people, right, I think you and I could agree that universally, most people look at evil as an obviously evil act, right? I think most humans would agree that child molestation is evil, right? Like we easily put that under the evil umbrella, right? Or chattel slavery, right? The kind of slavery that Black people endured, right? Black chattel slavery is the only kind of slavery of its kind. Yes, there are other slaveries that have existed in the history of mankind, and chattel slavery is the only one of its kind. And I think most people would constitute chattel slavery as evil, right? So it's these kind of large universally agreeable evil subjects like child molestation, like like chattel slavery, that we look at as evil, right? Most people don't look at jealousy as evil. We don't look at, um, uh, doing harmful things to our kids as a mom or a dad as evil. We don't look at withholding love from our kids to get them to obey as evil. We don't look at um, withholding a truth that could be useful to somebody. A spirit tells you to do something and you do something else. Like we don't look at these things as evil, and in a way, they are evil because they're misaligned with truth. They're misaligned with what your divine spirits have instructed you to do. We wouldn't call it good, right? But we most likely don't call them evil either. And what I propose here today is that any act that either separates you from the truth of who you are, right? Any ideology that you walk around with that keeps you disconnected from the divine within yourself is evil. Okay? So I speak from that position, first of all, in defining what do I mean by evil. Okay? and obviously inclusive of the things that most people would call evil, like the child molestation and the chattel slavery. Okay, I just want to really discern and define those. Now, what is good? I chuckle like that because, Lord, honey, there's things that we would obviously call good, right? Being generous, being a great listener without judgment, caring for other people, right? Supporting someone going through grief, shining your light, right? Now, these are things that we would obviously call good, okay? And what about when you see somebody you love, a client, for example, I do transformational work, deep work. My work is deep. It's root core level. It is meant to change a person at deep level so they have lasting, obvious results. Now, my sight is vast. I see things deeply. I see them in multitudes. And I have been doing this work so long and am aware of human patterns that there are some things that I withhold deliberately, and this is in communication with divine, because that person is, or I could withhold, like I could see something that could be useful to somebody and withhold it because of my own ideas about no, not now. Not because it's been an intuitive hit of no, not now, but maybe I'm just like, I don't feel like dealing with that right now. Because I know that if I bring this to the forefront, it's going to open up a whole new thing with this person. And maybe I don't feel like doing that right now. That is a not good. Okay. Wait, I want to make sure I'm aligning this correctly. The intent here is to discern what is good. Okay, so let me correct what I just said. So what I just said still is true. So you can take that and use that how you will. And then there's also the telling of a truth. So basically flipping what I just said, because I talked about withholding, because there is an evil in withholding, okay, where something can be useful. And then there is a telling of something that could sting somebody. And the sting at first impact feels like not good. How dare you say that to me? You're being judgmental. That is, anything in that domain. I could dig for another way to say that, but right. There's so many people say, not cool. But then and I'm talking from a transformational experience, when you start to face your own darkness, you start to see in ways that most people cannot see, because the only way you can see at that level is when you face your own darkness. So if you're in a room of 20 people, you have been doing true shadow work, the kind that I teach and that others teach in their own way, and you have cleansed yourself in a way and unified yourself in a way where you can see at levels that other people can't see. And you're in a room with 20 people who do not do shadow work the way you do. And you guys maybe you're just shooting the shit. And you see things that they don't see, and you speak the thing. And maybe you've had this happen in your reality before, where people are like, they don't see what you see. So there's going to naturally be a disagreement. There's going to be potentially some kind of contention there. And depending on the level of approval, as I talked about in the last module, the level of self-approval, the level of self-love, the level of unification within yourself, whenever there's contention, disagreement from others who don't see at the sight, that level that you see, but you have approved, you can withstand somebody using the not good and being able to really discern what is good, constituting a pure place of what is good versus this very generic, subjective idea of what is good. The obviously good things that I mentioned earlier. So I share that. I know that was an elaboration, but these things are just really important to me when you start to talk about yourself, yourself, okay? And the tricky ways that we can try to position ourselves in a way to appear a certain way, which falls into the last module of what do I not want to look like? What do I not want to appear as? I want to appear good. So let me make sure if I say that truth, that could sting, then I won't look good. I won't look like I'm helping. I'll look like I'm being judgmental. I'll look like I'm being unkind. And I don't want to look like that. So I'm going to withhold that. And then that puts you into the category of evil. Okay. So that's why Marianne Williamson, spiritual teacher, said, the truth will set you free. But first, what? Right? And that's because it stings on impact. And at first, like, that's evil. You're not being considerate. You're being judgmental. Right? And I'll just complete that axiom for a person who may be seeing this and doesn't know that. Marianne Williamson said, and I don't know if she was the first person who said it, but the truth will set you free. I think Gloria Steinem actually was the first person who said it. The truth shall set you free. But first, it's going to piss you off. Come on. Get into it. Okay? It's lovely, man. That's why I say get to the other side. I have been saying over and over and over again, do hard things over time, get to the other side, and then get to the other side again, and then get to the other side again, get to the other side again. Are you serious about full power? Or just a little bit of power? You just want a quarter cup of power? I just want a third of cup. Give me the recipe for a third cup of full power. Oh, that sounds like a fun little game. What does it look like to have a third cup of full power? No, baby. I want the whole thing. And what do it look like to be the whole thing? Oh, my God. Can this mortal body even withstand? Okay, anyway, that's a little tangent, a fun tangent. Oh, honey. All right, so there you go. Evil, good. Now, dissolving the internal war. Now, dissolution, it really just depends on your style, baby. I'm an all-in kind of girl. I like it deep, right? I like, let's go. That's my style. That's not everybody's style, and that's okay, right? So I'm just, you got to take here and go your way here in this, okay? Now, I'm getting ready to share a woman. She's a deep woman. Now, this woman I'm getting ready to share was a disciple, if you will. She was a student of Carl Jung. She started off young with him, like 18, 19, and worked with him until he died. Actually, who died first? I think he died first. Yeah. So for her entire adult life, and I could be wrong about that, but about who died first. I can't remember which of them died first, but she worked with him her entire adult life. She left her country of origin to go work with him. They had a deep relationship. Like I said, she was his greatest disciple, greatest student. You'll see on your own if you choose to go further, right? And she went on to develop her own career and become known as a real master of dream analysis, of understanding the unconscious, understanding the anima and animus, which was the work of Carl Jung. And this master teacher name is Marie Louise von Franz. Marie Louise von Franz. And the link that I have shared here with you beneath this video is a link to a playlist that I created on YouTube with a bunch of her clips. My God. And so if you're into Carl Jung, if you're into the unconscious mind, dream analysis, really understanding the psyche of man, okay, humanity, really want to get into the what's happening inside this whole unification of opposites, understanding the depth of you, okay, understand what's governing you. As I said, this is deep, okay. Your psyche is your basement. Your unconscious mind is the basement of you. You seeing me and hearing my voice right now. Your unconscious is the basement of you. It's the foundation of you. If you're not going down up in there, all the other work that you will ever do, healing work, all the work that you have done and will do will always be unstable and transient if you don't go down into the basement, the foundation of you, the psyche. Whew. And Marie Louise von Franz, Carl Jung are masters when it comes to really getting into harmony, love, knowledge, and acceptance of the basement of what makes you do what you do. whereby giving you the power to transform the basement of you, so that as you transform the inner deep basement of you, you naturally start to produce a new result out here in the material world, right? So right now I have this playlist open with Marie-Louise von France. Whew. And this conversation of dissolving the internal war, that you are both good and evil, I'm recommending, among whatever else you may be doing or however else you may have been inspired to move going through these modules, that what I'm advising you to do is go click on this playlist and see which of these videos, because I don't know how many, 19 are in here now. 19 videos are inside of this playlist that's placed beneath this video. Go see if any of those speak to you as it relates to, first, dissolving the internal war. You are both good and evil. Or if any of them just speak to you, period, about any of this shadow work and you coming into greater knowledge of you. Okay? That's how I see this module, is intuitively going down here, considering that you are both good and evil, and so is every other human being. And one of the greatest works for you to come out onto the world stage, for you to come out in your sexual liberation, for you to come out open-hearted, for you to come out healthily in your body, okay? For you to come out and feel confident in your life choices and not be seeking external validation, for you to take a new path, take a new direction in your life without being overwhelmed by what people are going to think, being overwhelmed by your own darkness. Good God. The intimacy within yourself. Carl Jung and Marie-Louise von France. And allowing your murky, dark self. You. It's everybody. Your murky, dark, powerful self. Because it's already doing it, but you're doing it consciously by looking at this playlist and the intentionality that I'm talking about here. You're already doing it. You've just been doing it unconsciously, which is why you're in the pattern that you're in and you can't seem to break the pattern. That's an unconscious way of going about having your dark, murky self lead your life. Because if you don't make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you're going to call it pattern. If you don't make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you're going to call it, this is my pattern. If you do not make your unconscious conscious, it will rule your life and you'll call it, why do I keep doing this? With this, what we're doing inside of this module, dissolving the inner war, you are both good and evil. You're consciously bringing your dark, murky self. You're consciously taking your unconscious self, taking your attention into looking at which of the videos in this playlist of Marie-Louise von France, of the 19 videos in this playlist, speaks to you. You're going to do this intuitively in that way. Trust your intuition. Always, always. Trust it. Even if it guides you to do something else outside of what I just said. Trust it. Okay? If you have any questions about this, you will have access to me for a limited time. What that time frame is, you should have been informed, not even should have, you will be informed in the email that you're going to receive when you got this course, or somewhere on this page. You will have access to send me questions in some kind of a way, whether it's inside of a group or via email. And I'm going to give you some time. Not much time though. And I'm saying this because I've told you repeatedly that shadow work takes time. Done right takes time. Be patient. So you may come up with a question that you may not have access to me to ask. If that happens, I want you to ask yourself the question. As I talked about in the last module, when you start to have a sensation of feeling, particularly ones that you don't like, ask yourself the question, what is this? Why do I feel like this? And expect an answer. You are such a divine being, you have your own answers. And sometimes it's so easy that you make it hard. Part of the war within is that there's an enjoyment about the war that we haven't even approved of in ourselves. We actually, on a level, don't want it to be so easy, because then we will become bored. Okay? Expect an answer. Let it be easy. Ask the question, expect the answer, let it be easy. Okay? So that is the conclusion of this module. Look intuitively with the thought of you're dissolving the internal war, which is unifying within yourself. So there's no longer this push-pull. I can't. I know I'm powerful, more powerful beyond measure, but I'm scared. Like, who do I think I am? But I know I'm a goddess. I feel like this is the best for me, but I keep seeking external judgment. That is the war within, okay? Withholding. You're going to take that, knowing that your goal in this module is to dissolve that war so that you are unified, so that you can move no matter what. You can move in your life, make decisions, and that you're going to go to the playlist and see which, if any, of the 19 videos of Marie Louise von Franz speaks to you, and watch it. And then see what happens intuitively from there. Are you inspired to click on another video? Is there something that comes up in your mind, in your spirit, that says, do that, do this, do that? This is the kind of self-trust that I'm looking at for you to develop, okay? This is going to be so huge, whether you're running a business, when you start making new decisions for new directions, and because you're becoming new on the inside, you start naturally wanting to do new on the outside, and you want to be able to be empowered and solid and clear and confident in those. And so you going through this exercise that I just talked about here is a practice of self-trust, practice of trusting the intuition, okay? Which, by the way, what I would like for you is to have that be what you're doing throughout this entire course, and what you make that a habit of throughout your entire life. Okay? So that's the end of Module 4, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.